Breaking news, Nigerians. IPOB lawyer insists DSS must comply with court judgment against attack on home. Well, but we understand that DSS, the Nigerian government, they don't obey court orders. It's just in their DNA. That is what they are known of. They don't obey court orders. And one can now imagine, these are people who are part of the law. These are people, who make the law. They are the same lawbreakers. It's not fair now. You understand? International community will not take us serious. They will be, in fact, making mockery of Nigerians outside there. And you see them, using us, to play ball because of what our leaders have done. Well, let's quickly hit the news and get the full details. But before then, guys, if you are here for the first time, kindly subscribe to our channel and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you for always coming out here. May God bless you all. Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor has again asked Nigerian security agencies, including the Department of State Services (DSS), to immediately comply with the judgment of the Federal High Court, Awka, Anambra State, which condemned security agents' bloody invasion of his ancestral home in June 6, 2021. Ejiofor is the main counsel of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Recall that Ejiofor counsel for Mrs. Felicia Okoro has alleged in his application that his late personal assistant, Mr. Samuel Okoro, was gruesomely murdered and his lifeless body burnt to ashes by the combined team of the operatives of the State Security Services (DSS), the Nigerian Police, the Nigerian Army, and one Chukwuka Chuzorum, aka Ijele, speaks. He had filed a fundamental rights application seeking compensation and condemnation at the acts of the security agents, among other relief sought. On October 27, 2022, Justice H.A. Angajuwa held that the killing of Okoro was illegal, unlawful, inhuman, and in contravention of the fundamental rights to life and dignity of human rights. The court was said to have awarded about 155 million as general damages and costs against the Nigerian security agencies. Furthermore, they were directed to tender a public apology, which must be published on national dailies, to Felicia Okoro, the deceased wife. At the time, Ejiofor rejoiced at the favorable court decision. About 1 month after the judgment was delivered, Ejiofor, in a statement made available to our correspondent on Thursday, implied that it has not been complied by the relevant defendants in the case. He therefore called on the security agents to immediately comply with the judgment of the court without further delay. The Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja on Monday, adjourned the case between the federal government and the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to await the final verdict of the Supreme Court. As listed on Justice Binta Inyako's case list, there was 3 related matters before her. 2 matters were slated for motion. Charge number FHC/ABJ/CR/383/2015 and the plea with the federal government as the applicant against Kanu. The 3rd application is slated for mention with Nnamdi Kanu as the applicant. Meanwhile, earlier reported that the Court of Appeal had quashed all federal government charges against Nnamdi Kanu, citing executive lawlessness. But a different panel of judges of the same appellate court later stayed execution of the judgment pending decision of the Supreme Court. Both the federal government and Kano's lawyers have appealed to the Supreme Court for judiciary interpretation. At the trial court resumed, Kano's lawyer told the judge that she should await the decision of the Supreme Court on his client. He said, "We are happy to report that on the 13th October, the Court of Appeal delivered a landmark judgment, allowing our appeal, therefore, setting aside the remaining seven-count charge. The prosecution has filed an appeal before the Supreme Court, and that appeal is pending." Although on the 28th of October, the same lower granted a stay of execution on the appeal. He added that on the 3rd of November, he appealed to the Supreme Court against the ruling, which did not invalidate the extant judgment of the Court of Appeal. He said, "The position, therefore, on this matter is that appeal has been duly entered before the Appeals Court of Nigeria. With all respect, sir, I humbly urge the court to adjourn indefinitely this matter and await the judgment of the Supreme Court." Subsequently, Justice Binta Inyako said she was in agreement that since the appeal is before the Supreme Court, the court must adjourn and await the decision of the Supreme Court. Okay. She held that she has to stay put on the case for now. So you can see that Nigerian government, they are just good, in disobeying court orders. Malami is on one side, disobeying court orders that released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and acquitted him. The DSS disobeying court orders that have asked it to pay some money to damage done, on the Ifeanyi Ejiofor's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu State Council, PRO, I beg your pardon, personal assistant and all that. He was killed, burnt to ashes, with a car. All these things are wrong. And the federal government continue, to involve itself in it. I'm dropping it, guys. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Thank you.